Mr. Zunko, I have been provided it appears to be a letter dated June 10th, 2025 to Michelle Gagnon and Mike Burr that reads as follows. Dear Michelle and Mike, Wally has agreed that if you pay the $1,400 you are behind by July 1st, he would stop the eviction. The rent would be $700 due on the 1st of every month. If payment of the rent is not received by the 10th, he would restart the eviction process and charge you $55 for the court fee. If you cannot pay the money owed, you must vacate the premises by June 25th. The eviction will remain in effect until payment of $14,000. Please sign that you have received the notice, and it appears to be signed by Sherry Johnson per Wally Zunko owner. Your name is signed with a phone number and Jennifer's name is signed with a phone number. Are you aware of this document?
I am, Your Honor.
Are these your signatures on the document?
No. Well, I don't.
Let me see if I can hold it up.
So I don't know.
I'm holding it up. Can you see this?
I
can't tell.
Yeah, I can't tell.
Do you remember signing that document?
Boy, this has been going on for so long, Your Honor. I really can't say one way or another.
Well, it's dated June 10th, so just a couple of weeks ago.
So I would have to say, no, I did not sign that.
And how is Mrs. Johnson involved in this negotiations and property with you?
Her husband, deceased now, and he was taking care of it for me. And then when he passed away, Sherry, because I don't live there, stepped in to handle this for me.
And so, Ms. Gagnon, you gave me that document, and what is relevant about that document?
That when they had sent in the paperwork for the courts, it said over 18,000. Now it's 14,000. They keep changing the amounts on the documents with us.
And so,
And we've always paid to Sherry Johnson and Pat Johnson as the landlord.
If I would have known it was him, we wouldn't even be in this situation right now. We didn't see Sherry Johnson for over a year and a half.
all right, let me do this because we're somewhat getting some testimonial stuff. Will everybody please raise their right hands? Did I hear you state, Ms. Gagnon, that you were requesting that the case be dismissed based on this?
The attorney had recommended.
Mr. Zunko, I show that the complaint alleges back on May 20th that there was $18,900 owing, but this letter dated June 10th appears to be $14,000. Can you explain that?
I cannot, Your Honor. All I know is that they haven't paid for a couple of years, and I'm just estimating how long it's been. So with me being at 14 or 18, I just want them out.
If we took testimony today, are you able to testify as to the amounts that have been received and the amounts owing?
I would have to have somebody else do that. I'd have to go through and see exactly how much it is. All I know is it's been, many months.
Okay. I guess, do you have any response to their request to dismiss the case?
Yeah. What does dismissing the case mean? They get to stay in the house?
No, it would not. I would dismiss it without prejudice, which means it could be brought back.
What at this time, Your Honor, I would just like to have them vacate the property. I don't care about the money. I just want to get my house back.
This is where I'm at. I've been troubled with this case since it landed on my desk because the paperwork was not filed correctly. While the attorney didn't necessarily advise them of that, he did advise them of another issue, and that is regarding how much is truly owing on the premises. I believe what I do find, and I raised this at one of the hearings we had, and I thought maybe the parties would file some amended paperwork, but they didn't. What I show is that there was a 30-day notice was provided to each of the defendant, which does not claim that there was any money owed. The complaint claims that rent was due in the amount of $18,900, but that was done under a 7-day complaint, which doesn't match up with a 30-day notice. The notice that they actually received said they didn't owe any money. The summons that was originally provided them, that was filed with the court that said they'd been provided with the summons and complaint, didn't have a date on it in which that they were to appear. So I find for the reasons that the paperwork was filed inadequately and for the reason that we're not able to have a hearing today based on testimony that how much was truly owing, and the fact that this letter dated June 10th is provided to the court seems to conflict with what the complaint says, I find there's adequate reason to dismiss the case today. The court will dismiss this without prejudice, which means that it can be brought back as early as Monday when the court is back open, provided that the procedures are properly filed. The court will go ahead and draft an order to that effect, and we'll make sure the parties each receive a copy of that.